internal watchdog revealed that it would investigate how the department complied with a law requiring the release of investigative files on Epstein.
Meanwhile, a deep divide is emerging within the House Oversight Committee when it comes to Epstein's closest confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell. Chairman James Comer says members are split on whether she should be offered a pardon in exchange for cooperating with investigators.
Maxwell, the only convicted associate in the Epstein case, has so far refused to answer questions invoking her Fifth Amendment right. Her attorney now signaling she'd only talk if granted clemency, a decision that would ultimately rest with the president.
Joining us now is attorney and founding partner of Allred, Morocco and Goldberg, Gloria Allred, who has represented and represents dozens of Epstein survivors. Gloria, always great to have you with us here. What I really want to get your thoughts on, I've been thinking about this all day, is the Ghislaine Maxwell, I will say, confusion, the divide. Wouldn't she have theoretically answered every question that could have been out there about Jeffrey Epstein during her own trial? Is there more that she would know that would legitimize some sort of pardon?
Well, Katrina, you're right. She did not testify under oath in her own trial. She could have subjected herself to cross-examination. Of course, she had a right to invoke her Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and not testify. That's what she did. And now, you know, she's all about making the deal that would give her a pardon. Really, that's not going to happen unless it's President Trump who decides to give her a pardon. And at this point, he's not indicating one way or another. So Representative Comer has said that there are MAGA proponents on the committee that would be in favor of a pardon, but they're not the ones who can give it to her. They're not the ones who can make the deal. And let's face it, this should be about what the survivors want. And the survivors have clearly said they do not want Ms. Maxwell to be pardoned. So we'll have to see what happens and whether President Trump, who, of course, you know, was a very familiar acquaintance, I'll put it that way, with Ms. Maxwell. And according to Jeffrey Epstein, he was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for a number of years. We'll have to see what the president decides. But I do want to say that I was in your studio when you were interviewing Representative Comer, of course, the chair of the House Oversight Committee, and you were asking him about Jeffrey Epstein and the survivors. And I noted that he did say there's going to be a hearing where survivors can testify. And I would like to add that last week, I heard President Trump say that survivors didn't want to testify under oath. And I just want to be clear that my client, Alicia Arden, who was the first one to file a police report against Jeffrey Epstein, would like to testify when that committee convenes for the survivors.
Gloria,
so,
do you think others would like to testify?
But she does.
Do you think others would like to testify as well? Also, do you believe that Ghislaine Maxwell has further information that only she knows that could aid in the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, I believe, to answer your question directly, that it should be a choice for survivors and others. If they want to testify or not, leave it up to them. They shouldn't be subpoenaed. They should be able to volunteer. And do I think that Ms. Maxwell should be pardoned? No, I don't. She's convicted of sex trafficking. And no, I don't think a sex trafficker is an appropriate person to be pardoned. And more to the point, the acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, says he said there's not going to be any more prosecutions. So exactly what is the point? She could volunteer to give more information if she wants to. But no, I don't think she should be rewarded. She's already been rewarded by being in that prison camp instead of that tough prison she was in previously.
Gloria Allred, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you.